Hello again. We're just going to do a short video today on how to find the percent of a number and also a little bit with estimating using percents. So percent of a number, I always teach my classes to do the scoot, scoot, multiply dance. I'm always doing dumb stuff and embarrassing myself, but you know what? People remember my goofiness and or stupidity. So I make them stand up. And then they scoot over, they jump a little to the left, and then they do it again. And then they cross their arms and say multiply. They do the scoot, scoot, multiply. If you can remember that, that's all you have to do for all of these problems here. So percent literally means out of 100. So what we're really doing when we change the percent to a decimal, we're just writing it as a fraction and dividing by 100. But you skip all that stuff. You just take the shortcut. So 73% really means 73 out of 100. Fraction bars just divide. So if you actually divide 73 by 100, you're going to get 0.73. The shortcut for that, because 100 has two zeros, when we move the decimal, we move it 2 times. To multiply, you move it to the right to make it bigger. To divide, you move it to the left to make it smaller. So you take your decimal. If you don't see it, then it's hiding at the end. And we're literally just going to scoot, scoot to the left. So you still get your 0.73. 2%, if you don't see the decimal, it's hiding at the end. We're going to scoot, scoot to the left. Put your decimal, fill in the gap. That would be 0.02. 128%, if you don't see it, it's hiding at the end. Scoot, scoot only twice. So that would be 1.28. And then 44.5%, take your decimal, scoot, scoot. That would be 0.445. So that's not my final answer yet, but that's step 1. You take your percent, you scoot, scoot twice to the left, drop your percent sign. Then all you have to do is multiply that by the other number. What we're finding is just a number. We're not finding a percent. Do not put a percent sign in your answer. So for these examples, I'm going to scoot, scoot to the left, make that 0.58. In percent, decimal, and fraction land, of means times. So 0.58 times 40. 0.58 times 40. I get 23.2. And if you think about it, 58% is a little bit more than half. So my answer should be a little bit more than half of 40. 3% is pretty small. So I'm going to scoot, scoot, and make that 0.03. Do 0.03 times 90, and you should get 2.7. That's all it is. Scoot, scoot, multiply. Scoot, scoot, make that 0.062 times 54. You should get 3.348. That's not one that I knew off the top of my head, so I'm just going to double check myself. 0.062 times 54. Yep, 3.348. And the last example here, remember, if you don't see a decimal, it's hiding at the end. Scoot, scoot, so 1.2 or 1.20 times 12. If it's over 100%, then it's over the amount that you started with. So I'm going to get something that's bigger than that 12. 1.2 times 12 gives me 14.4. And that's all there is to that. Scoot, scoot, multiply. Now, when we start estimating, there are some benchmark percents that if you don't know yet, you need to just learn. 50% means it's a half. 100% is all of it. It's the whole thing. 25% is a fourth. 75% is 3/4. So just using those 4 benchmarks, that'll help you with some of your estimation. For example, if I say 95% of 15, well, 95% is almost 100. So if I just think of that as 100% of 15, my answer is going to be close to 15. I'm going to use this little squiggly equals. It means approximately equal to. My answer is going to be approximately 15. Not exactly, but close. If you actually check 0.95 times 15, you get 14.25. So not perfect, but when you're estimating, you just want to get a rough idea that you can work with in your head. It's all about mental math. 52%, well, that's about 50%. And you can leave that as 19, or since I'm estimating, I could even say that's about 50% of 20. So that's about 10. Again, it's not going to be perfect. It's just getting an estimate. 23% of 8, I could say that's about 25%. I'm going to do 8 because 25% means a fourth. A fourth of 8 would just be 2. 75%, well, 13 is not very useful, but it's close to 12. 4 goes into 12 3 times. So 3 of those for 3/4, that would be about 9. There are more than just those 4 benchmarks that you need to think about, though. So the shortcut that you're probably going to use the most is when you have 10%, and then I'll show you what to do with multiples of 10. 10%, all you really need to do is drop that 0. It's the same thing as dividing by 10. When we divided by 100, we scooted twice to the left. When you divide by 10, you scoot once to the left. So all that happens is you drop that ending 0. 10% of 90 is 9. 10% of 120 is 12. 10% of 60 is 6. So then if you move forward and you have multiples of those, if I do 10% of 30, that would be 3. 40% means I have 4 of those. So 3 times 4, I get 12. Look, drop the 0, drop the 0. 3 times 4 is 12. Check it out. Drop the 0, drop the 0. 6 times 9 is 54. Drop the 0, drop the 0. 7 times 2 is 14. One more, drop the 0, drop the 0. 8 times 5 is 40. So if we want to use that to estimate, just round to your nearest multiples of 10. 42% of 79, I'm going to use 40% of 80. It's not the same thing as rounding. So if you're given an assignment that says estimate, don't get the actual answer for 42% of 79 and then round. What most teachers are going to ask you to do is to show what you rounded it to. So for my classes, my students would be expected to write down that they did 40% of 80. Then they can show me that their answer, is about 32. Just drop the 0, drop the 0. 29% of 41, I'm going to round that to 30% of 40. Drop the zeros, that's about a 12. 67%, I'm going to round to 70%. 93, I'm going to round to 90. Drop the zeros, that's about 63. That's all there is to it. Really short lesson for this one. If you need any other help with 7th or 8th grade math standards, my channel is Math with Luger. I'm not in this for subscribers, but if it helps you to subscribe so that you can get to these faster, please go ahead. If you need to contact me, there's my school email, or I have a classroom Facebook. So if you need help, reach out. Hopefully this got you through the problems that you were working on. Thank you so much. Until next time, bye.